As we age, sleep patterns naturally begin to shift. Seniors often find themselves waking up earlier, sleeping less at night, and needing naps during the day to compensate. While short naps can have restorative effects, doctors are now warning that certain napping habits after age 60 may actually increase the risk of death, especially from cardiovascular problems, cognitive decline, and metabolic diseases. This part of our three-part series explores why napping becomes riskier with age, how the body's sleep cycle changes after 60, and what the first dangerous nap habit is that seniors should avoid. If you're a senior or care for one, this information could be life-saving. Why do seniors nap more often? First, let's understand why napping becomes more common after 60. There are several natural and lifestyle-driven reasons. Age-related changes in the brain. The part of the brain that controls circadian rhythms, our natural sleep-wake cycles, begins to degrade with age. Health issues, chronic conditions like diabetes, arthritis, or sleep apnea can disrupt nighttime sleep, leading to daytime fatigue. Medications. Many common drugs prescribed to seniors cause drowsiness or fatigue. Less activity during the day. A less physically demanding lifestyle can lead to less energy usage, causing sleepiness, while naps can help counteract some of these effects. Research now shows they must be approached carefully. What happens to the body when you nap? Napping affects the body and brain in several powerful ways. A nap can lower blood pressure, boost memory and concentration, improve mood strength and the immune system. However, the benefits depend on how and when you nap. Sleep is a delicate biological process involving different stages. Interrupting this cycle or entering deep stages of sleep at the wrong time can confuse the body, leading to harmful consequences. Dangerous nap habit number 1. Napping for over 1 hour regularly. According to recent studies published in journals like Sleep Medicine and Journal of the American Geriatric Society, napping for more than 1 hour during the day is associated with a significantly increased risk of death among older adults. The science behind it. In a 2021 study involving over 10,000 participants over the age of 60, researchers found that those who napped for more than 60 minutes per day had a 30% higher risk of all-cause mortality, 34% higher risk of cardiovascular death, increased likelihood of cognitive decline and dementia. The body interprets long naps as a signal that something is wrong. It may point to underlying health conditions, poor nighttime sleep, or even the beginning stages of cognitive disorders. Why long naps are a problem? There are a few key reasons why long naps are dangerous. Disrupts nighttime sleep. A long nap can interfere with your ability to fall asleep or stay asleep at night, which leads to a vicious cycle of poor rest. Triggers sleep inertia. Waking up from a deep stage of sleep can leave you groggy, disoriented, and even more fatigued than before. Linked with inflammation, long daytime sleep has been connected to higher levels of inflammatory markers in the blood, major risk factor for heart disease. Alters circadian rhythm. Long naps confuse your internal body clock, which is already more fragile in older adults. What do doctors recommend? Sleep experts generally agree on the power nap rule for seniors. Nap for 20 to 30 minutes. Nap before 3 p.m. to avoid disrupting nighttime sleep. Nap in a comfortable but not overly dark or warm room. Avoid napping in bed. This is for nighttime. Sleep only by keeping naps short and strategic. Seniors can gain the benefits of rest without the harmful consequences. Signs your nap habits may be risk. If you're over 60 and regularly experience any of the following, your nap habits could be putting your health at risk. You nap daily for more than 1 hour. You feel groggy or confused after a nap. You nap because you feel completely exhausted during the day. You have trouble sleeping at night or wake up frequently. You rely on naps to catch up on sleep rather than fix nighttime. These symptoms could indicate that your body is struggling with poor sleep quality or deeper health problems like sleep apnea, depression, or early-stage dementia. Healthier alternatives to long naps. If you feel the need for a long nap during the day, it might be time to reevaluate your lifestyle and sleep hygiene. Here are some alternatives to try. Practice light exercise in the morning, like walking or yoga, to boost daytime energy. Improve sleep environment. Blackout curtains. Cool temperature and white noise can help improve nighttime rest. Eat a lighter lunch. Heavy meals can trigger drowsiness. Try a 10-minute meditation instead of a nap to reset your mind. Key takeaways from Part 1. Habit risk solution: napping over 1 hour daily, 30% higher risk of death. Nap 20. 30 minutes only. Napping too late in the day, sleep disruption. Nap before 3 p.m. relying on naps instead of nighttime sleep. Circadian rhythm disturbance improve nighttime sleep quality. Final thoughts for seniors and caregivers. The key takeaway is this: napping isn't bad, but the way you nap can be. After age 60, the body becomes more sensitive to sleep disruptions. Oversleeping during the day might feel harmless, but mounting research shows that long or irregular naps could be warning signs of more serious problems. As we continue this series, we'll explore 3 more dangerous nap habits that seniors often don't realize are harmful, including ones that seem totally normal. Next, Part 2. Napping too late in the day. How evening sleep can mess with your heart and brain. In Part 1, we explored how napping for more than an hour can drastically increase health risks in seniors over 60. Now, in Part 2, we shift focus to another commonly overlooked but equally dangerous habit: taking naps too late in the day. What might seem like a harmless afternoon snooze could actually disrupt your body's natural rhythms, worsen insomnia, and even lead to serious cardiovascular and cognitive consequences. This part will dive deep into the science of circadian disruption, how late-day naps affect your brain and heart, and what doctors recommend to stay safe. Dangerous nap habit number 2. Napping after 3 p.m. Doctors agree. Napping late in the afternoon or early evening after 3 p.m. is one of the most harmful habits for seniors. Why? Because it interferes with your body's internal clocks, the circadian rhythm which controls sleep-wake cycles, hormone levels, digestion, and even mood. Understanding the circadian rhythm is a 24-hour internal clock that runs in the background of your brain. It's influenced by light and dark, telling your body when to feel alert and when to feel sleepy. Here's how it works in simple terms. Morning to early afternoon. 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., your brain signals wake-up mode. Hormones like cortisol and serotonin are higher. This is the ideal time to be productive or take short power naps, 20 to 30 minutes max. Late afternoon to evening. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., your brain begins to prepare for rest. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, starts rising slowly. This is not the right time to nap because it can delay the onset of natural sleep. At night, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., the body enters full sleep mode. Melatonin peaks, body temperature drops, and the brain undergoes critical processes like memory consolidation and cell repair. When seniors nap during the wind-down hours after 3 p.m., it disrupts this natural flow, delaying nighttime sleep and confusing the body's biological clock. Health risks of late-day napping. Late naps may feel refreshing in the short term, but the long-term consequences are anything but. Point 1. Insomnia and nighttime. Wakefulness. Evening naps reduce sleep pressure, making it harder to fall asleep later. Seniors already have lighter sleep due to age-related changes in melatonin production, so this disruption hits harder too. Heart health risks. Say 2022 study in Hypertension, a journal of the American Heart Association, found that irregular and late-day napping increased the risk of high blood pressure and stroke, especially in people over 60.3. Mood disorders. Circadian misalignment caused by late naps has been linked to depression, anxiety, cognitive fog. These conditions are more dangerous in older adults, where mental resilience may be reduced. For increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Napping late can spike blood sugar levels and disturb insulin sensitivity. For seniors already at risk for diabetes, this can be particularly dangerous. Scientific backing in a 2021 study from Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience. Researchers followed 5,000 adults over 64 5 years. The key findings: seniors who napped after 3 p.m. were twice as likely to report disrupted nighttime sleep. They showed slower reaction times, reduced attention spans, and poorer memory. There was a 23% increase in reported heart complications compared to those who either didn't nap or napped earlier in the day. These findings align with other global research suggesting that when you nap matters almost as much as how long you nap. Signs you may be napping too late. If you're unsure whether your nap routine is problematic, watch for these signs. You frequently nap after 3 p.m. or in the early evening. You feel wide awake at bedtime and struggle to fall asleep. You wake up multiple times during the night. You wake up in the morning feeling unrefreshed or groggy. Your blood pressure readings have increased recently without other known causes. What doctors recommend instead? Doctors suggest a combination of timing, environment, and intention to optimize your naps and protect your health. Here's how to nap smart. Nap earlier before 3 p.m. The best time is between 1 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. when your body naturally hits a small energy dip. Napping during this window helps your body restore energy without interfering with night sleep. Nap short 20 to 30 minutes. This keeps you in the lighter stages of sleep, avoiding grogginess and protecting your circadian rhythm. Use an alarm if needed to prevent oversleeping. Avoid the bed nap in a reclining chair or sofa, not in bed. This prevents the body from slipping into deep sleep. Your brain will associate bed with nighttime sleep only. Reinforcing healthy sleep habits. Limit screen time after waking. Bright light from phones or TVs after a nap can confuse the brain and suppress melatonin, making it harder to sleep at night. Try a calm activity like reading or stretching instead. When late-day napping might be a red flag. If a senior can't stay awake in the late afternoon despite sleeping well at night, it could point to obstructive sleep apnea, common in seniors and often undiagnosed. Heart failure or low oxygen levels. Early signs of dementia or neurological conditions. Medication side effects. In these cases, talk to a doctor. Drowsiness at the wrong times may be more than a nap problem. It might be a medical warning sign. Key takeaways from Part 2. Habit risk recommendation: napping after 3 p.m. insomnia. Heart risk, mood issues, nap before 3 p.m. long late naps, increased blood pressure. Stroke risk limit to 20 to 30 minutes. Frequent evening drowsiness, possible medical condition. Consult a doctor. Final thoughts: as simple as it may seem, napping late in the day can throw off your body's natural rhythm and increase the risk of serious health issues after 60. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to sleep misalignment, and ignoring these signs could lead to worsening sleep, brain fog, and long-term damage to the heart and brain. By simply napping earlier and more intentionally, you can extend your energy, improve nighttime sleep, and most importantly, protect your life. Next up, Part 3. The hidden danger of napping out of boredom and what it does to your brain over time. In Part 1, we talked about how long naps over 1 hour increase health risks for seniors. In Part 2, we discussed how napping too late in the day after 3 p.m. disrupts your circadian rhythm and harms your heart and brain. Now, in this final installment, we focus on a silent and sneaky danger: napping, not because you're tired, but because you're bored. This seemingly harmless behavior can rewire your brain, increase the risk of cognitive decline, and even lead to depression or early dementia. If you're over 60 or care for someone who is, this is a habit worth understanding in full detail. Dangerous nap. Habit number 3. Napping out of boredom or habit. Not fatigue. Many seniors retire from active work life and find themselves with large chunks of free time. While a slower pace can be relaxing, it often leads to mental understimulation, which causes the brain to seek rest even when it doesn't truly need it. This is when people start to nap out of boredom, not because of sleep deprivation. Over time, this habit trains the brain to shut down during quiet moments instead of staying engaged or active. Why this is dangerous for the brain? When you nap without actual physical or mental fatigue, you're weakening the brain's ability to stay alert, reducing cognitive engagement, slipping into mental stagnation. The brain, like a muscle, needs regular stimulation to stay strong. When you disengage too often, especially during the day, your brain can enter a state of low activity that mimics early cognitive decline. A 2022 study from Alzheimer's and Dementia Journal revealed older adults who nap frequently during the day, especially without signs of sleep deprivation, are at a significantly higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease within 5 years. In fact, those who regularly napped out of boredom were twice as likely to experience memory loss and disorientation over time. How this habit reinforces itself. Let's break down how a harmless afternoon snooze becomes a cycle that leads to serious health decline. You feel bored due to lack of engagement or stimulation. You nap not out of tiredness, but to pass the time. Your brain gets used to shutting down when understimulated. Over weeks or months, your brain lowers its alert baseline. You start feeling sluggish more often. Eventually, this can result in chronic fatigue, mood problems, and memory loss. In seniors, this cycle is especially dangerous because age-related brain changes are already in motion. Symptoms that you're napping out of boredom may not always be obvious, whether you're napping from real need or habit. Here are signs you're napping from boredom. You don't feel physically tired, but still lie down just to relax and fall asleep. You nap at the same time daily, regardless of whether you're fatigued. You nap multiple times a day, but still feel mentally dull. You use napping to avoid feelings of loneliness or lack of purpose. You nap right after watching TV, eating, or sitting quietly. What does science say? In a multi-year study conducted by researchers at UCSF and Harvard, over 4,500 adults over 65 were tracked for patterns of non-fatigue-related napping. The findings were alarming. 60% of those who napped out of boredom had lower scores in memory, attention, and processing speed within 3 years. They also reported higher rates of depression and social withdrawal. Brain scans showed shrinking in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, in participants who napped unnecessarily during the day. The conclusion: unneeded napping accelerates mental aging. The difference between rest and cognitive decline: not all rest is bad. In fact, seniors need downtime. But when rest becomes default inactivity, the brain begins to degenerate instead of rejuvenate. Healthy rest includes purposeful, short naps under 30 minutes, meditation or deep breathing, light reading or relaxing music, and healthy rest includes long periods of dozing off without feeling tired, napping out of habit to fill time, mentally passive behaviors like sitting in silence without engagement, healthy alternatives to boredom, napping instead of falling into this cycle. Replace boredom naps with mentally and physically engaging activities. Mental engagement: puzzles, Sudoku, or crosswords, reading a new book or listening to audiobook, learning a new hobby, knitting, drawing, etc. Using memory apps or brain games. Social interaction: call or video chat with friends and family. Join, say, senior community group or class. Participate in group walking or gardening. Light movement: gentle yoga or Tai Chi, housework or gardening. 10-minute walks outdoors to reset your energy. Even 15 minutes of mental or social activity can refresh your mind better than an unnecessary nap. Key takeaways from Part 3. Habit. Risk healthy alternative napping without real fatigue, memory loss. Dementia risk short walks, puzzles, light engagement napping out of habit, cognitive decline, change, routine. Stay mentally active passive dozing while bored increase depression, join social groups. Practice hobbies. What to do if you feel you need a nap daily if you feel like you have to nap every day just to get through. It could be a warning sign of undiagnosed sleep apnea, vitamin D or B12. Deficiency anemia or thyroid imbalance, mild depression or social isolation. In these cases, speak to a doctor. Excessive sleepiness, even in older age, is not always normal. Often points to something deeper and treatable. Final thought: napping is not inherently dangerous, but it becomes harmful when it's used as an escape from boredom, loneliness, or routine. Seniors over 60 are especially vulnerable to this pattern, and the consequences can slowly rob you of your clarity, memory, and quality of life. By understanding the why behind your nap habits and replacing unnecessary naps with meaningful engagement, you can keep your brain sharp, your mood stable, and your body energized. Summary of the 3 dangerous nap habits for seniors. Nap habit risk. Fix 1. Napping over 1 hour, increased risk of death. Heart issues, limit to 20 to 30 minutes. 2. Napping after 3 p.m. sleep disruption. Stroke risk, nap earlier in the day. 3. Napping out of boredom, dementia. Mental decline, stay mentally and socially active, taking control of your nap habits could add years to your life and life to your years.